This is Guatemala, a country in Central America located right below Mexico. Guatemala is known for its volcanic landscape and the long history of Mayan culture. As a developing economy, the agricultural sector constitutes 10% of the GDP and employs 50% of their labor force. The fertile land and biodiversity make Guatemala home to millions of farm workers. And Julio Penados is one of the most successful farmers. But when COVID hit, his farm's growth was put into jeopardy. Julio comes from a family of doctors and pastors, but he decided to return to his roots and started a farm in San Benito, a small town in the north of Guatemala. As one of the 7 founding families of the town, Julio and the rest of the Penados family get to parade around the island on the day named after them. This year, Julio hosted over 100 people from all extended Penados families to celebrate their history. On the edge of San Benito, Julio created his own history. A 750-acre family farm of palm oil trees, livestock, and natural forests. It is also the place where Julio raised his 3 sons, Julio, named after him, Sebastian, and Agustin. With the farm and his business, Julio managed to send his 3 sons to colleges in different countries. After pursuing their college degrees in biology and agriculture, Julio's sons are coming home to Guatemala to help their father grow his farming business. The sons are eager to prove to their father that they can grow the success of their father's farm.
This is of the native, and this is like the domestic.
Julio saw an ad of an apiary for sale. My dad already has a farm, and so we thought that adding an apiary into that space would be a great addition. And so that's how we first started thinking about starting our own bee business.
Cuando ellos regresan de estudiar, ellos tratan de involucrarse un poco más en el manejo de las abejas, y creo que ahorita yo puedo ir transmitiéndoles lo que conozco, lo que sé o lo que he aprendido.
My dad used to buy honey and sell it like many years ago. He will purchase honey in large quantities and then get it ready for the honey to be exported to outside the country.
Julio slowly started teaching his sons the art of beekeeping and harvesting honey on the farm. Even during the midst of the pandemic, the father and sons made progress.
We did the harvest, and then we started thinking about the bottles, the design of the labels. We bottled our honey and then offered it to friends and relatives.
If anything, the pandemic helped drive demand for honey, as honey is often used to improve respiratory health.
That harvest was sold pretty quickly. Yeah, we were happy about it.
Everything was going well for Julio and his sons with their new honey business, until Julio contracted COVID.
Después del COVID, desarrollé una alergia con los piquetes de abejas.
Julio has been working with bees since his 30s, and the stings never bothered him. But after contracting COVID, he noticed that bee stings now gave him a terrible allergic reaction.
Lo que se evita es de que se obstruya donde respiro, la tráquea.
With their father suddenly forced to avoid all beekeeping, his sons would have to grow the business and harvest the honey themselves.
Nunca vas a saber cuándo estás listo hasta que te toca hacer un trabajo. Ahí es donde tú ya empiezas a agarrar las responsabilidades.
I f***ed up, big time. The fire thing that we have in here, we had it. It's not there anymore. I might have to pee here to prevent the fire from happening.
Causing a fire, losing a glove, or forgetting to fix the veil. The brothers have made all the mistakes there could be, and the consequence stings.
Ah! It's on my abdomen. I felt that bee walking on my lips, And so that was why I tried to spit to prevent her from stinging me on the lips.
Sebastian asked Augustin, his younger brother, to hurry and smoke his veil. But Augustin was taking his time since the bee didn't bother him as much as it did Sebastian.
Whenever I go, I get stung, so I'm kind of used to it already. Not that it doesn't hurt, but just used to it.
After countless mistakes and bee stings, the brothers started knowing more about the flying honeymakers.
To secure a good harvest, you want to make sure that your beehives are healthy, that there is enough flowering around the area, that our queen bees are working.
That's the queen bee over there that you see with a white dot on her back. Queen bees are usually painted so that they're easy to distinguish.
We check that there is always like eggs and larvae hatching.
These workers grab honey from here and then they give that honey to their larvae that are inside these sealed things. That's how they feed them.
We also check for the honey frames that each beehive has.
This yellowish substance is pollen, and bees get that from flowers. And when they mix pollen and put it up here, they secrete it back with other substances that they have in their mouth, and so that's how they make honey.
That's kind of an indicator of how healthy they are, and also how they are making progress towards making the honey that you want to harvest later on. Because, well, you don't want to lose time between a colony being weak and recovering, and for them to get to a point where they're strong enough to start building up their honey reserves.
If you see this frame, they're making this white comb, and this is usually a sign that one is going to be able to harvest honey from this beehive soon.
In order to grow, we put in frames that have some wax glued to it, along with some other like strings, and that serves as guidance for the bees to build up their comb. They do an activity called festooning. If you see them closely, it will look like they're holding each other, and that's how they pass on the substances that they use to build the wax and the comb ultimately.
The buzzing bees are vital to a good harvest, but the brothers are doing a lot more than just opening boxes.
Before our visit to the apiary, well, we will first check the car, get all our equipment into the car, all the supplies that we need. We mix water with sugar and some vitamins that are used for other animals too. They are like a very general vitamins, nothing specific to bees. And so we use that to keep our colonies strong, even when food is scarce in the area. We bring suits, boots, gloves. We make sure that the veils that go with us don't have any holes in it. We use smoke to keep bees calm and to prevent them from going out of their beehive boxes, and so that they don't swarm that much around us.
All of them are getting angry right now, so my job is to smoke the entrance of the honey beehives so that they see smoke outside, they go in, and the ones that are outside are not so angry. They get confused and dizzy, and that gives us enough time to work in here.
The Pinedos brothers work with Afghanized bees. They're bigger in size and tend to be more aggressive, which might be the reason why Sebastian had a hard time bonding with them.
Before we started beekeeping, I liked bees. I thought they were cool. Whenever I will see one in the wild, I'll try not to kill it and not to be stung by it. But after we became beekeepers, I started liking bees more.
Por ejemplo, en esta comida le hubiéramos podido echar, que iba directo, pero a lo mismo.
I would say that we have an emotional connection to our bees, us, beekeepers. They might get less aggressive as time goes on and you work with them on a regular basis, but I don't think they have any sort of reciprocal relationship with us. Beekeepers here work with Africanized bees. They tend to produce more honey. They are more resistant to pests and other insects that might get into the colony.
This box has wood mites, and you can see it in the cracks if you look closely. He's cutting the weeds around, because if you let them grow, you have ants and other bugs getting into the beehives. And so that is dangerous for bees and also stresses them out and hence reduces your production of honey. So we moved into this area last year and we haven't harvested honey from here, but we expect to harvest honey in March 2022 and we expect it to be good honey.
Good honey takes teamwork in the beehive. The queen bee lays eggs to spawn the next generation of bees, and the worker bees protect them. The brothers are doing the same. When one plays the goalie, the other strikes, and when one of them feeds bees, the other takes care of the sales.
I would say the most important role that I have in the business would be tracking the orders and contacting some of our distributors. You know, gotta make sure that they have enough honey to sell, coordinate to bring more honey to them, and to collect the payment.
He's very, very good in all about talk with the people, do business with the honey.
Sebastian plans on selling this batch of honey in the bakery. This bakery in the mall will be a great selling place because there will be more customers with higher purchasing power. And that gives them a better chance to sell their honey at a fair price.
Este cuesta 160. Representación de la que es una tablita y jabones a base de miel. Este está lo que... Sí. Este igual, cuesta 75.
The way we work with the bakery and with other businesses is that we bring them honey and they pay us for what they sell. They don't need an investment on their side to start selling our honey.
The brothers don't have official contracts or documents with the distributors. But as small business owners, the convenience allowed them to work with more sellers and stand out from their competitors. The GDP per capita in Guatemala is around $4,500. So among Guatemalans, honey is often seen as a luxury. According to an official from COADAP, a local beekeeper association.
Nuestra cultura del consumo de miel es muy poca. Generalmente consumimos miel porque nos va a servir como un medicamento, pero no como una cultura de alimentación que digamos, ¿verdad? Pues voy a consumir en mis panqueques o en esto y consumirlo a diario y frecuentemente. ¿Va?
Local beekeepers face the problem of low demand in raw honey. But what separates the Penados brothers apart from other sellers is their ambition. They plan on selling their honey in bigger cities, but ultimately they want to export it to foreign countries.
And so that's a plan we have for the future when we get closer to our goal of having more than 200 beehives. If we reinvest what we get from our apiary, we can keep it growing for sure. I mean, that's the essence of capitalism.
The brothers are confident because they keep good track of their honey.
There is like natural forest surrounding the apiary that gives them enough variety of flowers that they could feed from, and that reflects on the quality of the honey. I have tried other beekeepers' honey, and that's good honey, but I would say that the one that we produce is significantly thicker than the one at the supermarket.
The Penados brothers are making a name in the market with their honey, but they face challenges from those who don't play by the rules. In Guatemala, hunters harvest wild honey from the jungle, burning down trees and causing wildfires in the process. In addition, black market honey, illegally harvested, is also brought to the market in a diluted form, making it worse on the market for local beekeepers.
The fake honey, like the honey but water, and people sometimes don't feel the difference.
Hay gente que quiere ganar más dinero de una manera fácil. Creo que si tú quieres trabajar por muchos años tienes que tratar de ser honesto y tratar de tener un buen producto para que tú puedas crecer despacio, pero por mucho tiempo. Si tú mezclas o tratas de engañar, vas a crecer, pero en el poco tiempo vas a caer. Crecer es bueno, pero hay que aprender a crecer. Cuando tú tienes un negocio pequeño, tus problemas son pequeños, y cuando tú tienes un negocio grande, tus problemas son grandes. Y hay que aprender a entender cómo funciona de pequeño para poder hacer algo más grande. Y eso es lo que estamos haciendo, creciendo un poco a poco.
The brothers are growing too with the business.
There's always some tension, I would say, but you know, in the end of the day, like, yeah, we get along because we're family and we are a very close family, and so.
The brothers came a long way from knowing nothing about bees to proud business owners. But the new generation faces more challenges.
En cuanto a las abejas. Tal vez faltará técnica, tal vez faltarán algunos métodos que uno puede ver en otros países como Estados Unidos, donde tienen métodos nuevos. Y esa es la esperanza de que si los hijos están estudiando en una universidad donde pueden aprender nuevas técnicas, eso podamos traerlo acá y enseñárselos a otras personas para que también puedan ser mejores. Cuando regresen, pues ya les tocará una responsabilidad un poco más grande y ahí es donde creo que vamos a saber si ya están preparados.
Hola papá, buenos días, no, buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches.
So other than irregular weather, we are conducting business as usual. The price of honey is stable. After we harvest, we'll be splitting colonies.
Bueno, es un aprendizaje y es una forma de cómo involucrarnos todos como familia en un negocio y para mí eso vale mucho.